Alrighty, so this is the unboxing and first look at the Rework Outbound travel backpack, and I am going to include a very clunky unboxing video because I don't have any mounts for my cameras and I don't have my mics anymore because I sold them recently. So that's going to be a little bit clunky, but I wanted to show you the experience in case you were curious. Alrighty, so I'm doing an unboxing of the Rework Outbound travel backpack. Pardon the microphone, I don't have any mics anymore. So I just wanted to show you the unboxing. I got my address out of there. And yeah, I decided to show you the experience that you get with it. Actually, I'm not used to doing these kinds of unboxings, so I might just actually do this. Yeah, we're just gonna make it clunky. I wish I had a nice mount to have everything on, but maybe later, one day. I don't need that. Oh, this already feels nice. Oh, it's upside down. Look at that. I was really worried it was going to be too big, as in like the actual dimensions was going to be too big. This actually feels like it's nice and skinny, but not too skinny. Let's see, how deep is it? How deep? Oh, I could feel that metal. Or not, I can feel the stiffness at least. I'm also really excited because I kept hearing stuff about the padding. I don't feel like it's that resistant. Like the people on Nomad's Nation or something, Hack or something, was talking about how rough this is. And I'll see how it is whenever I am traveling with it. But compared to the Tom Talk, this feels pretty nice. Seatbelt style. And then, yeah, I can see why people kept saying this is small, but I don't usually use these that much. Handle. And then why don't I take this over to my main camera setup? So I just wanted to share with you my first impressions of this, and I just wanted to do it in a better camera. First and foremost, I was really worried about the size. And not so much that it would be too small, despite the fact I am going from a 40 liter to a 30 liter. However, I was more worried about like just not being able to have it. Like I was worried about it being too clunky, really, too big. And so in this bag, it almost seems like the perfect size. And I don't know if I'm just looking at it through rose-colored glasses, but this, and my rose-colored cheeks too. I decided that this already feels really nice, and it's one of the nicest backpacks I've ever had. So going in here, you can open it all the way up, just like my old Tom Talk one, but this is a little bit more firm. I was thinking, like, people were worried about how flimsy this was. What if you put some sort of plastic or maybe even wood, or I have a little cube like you would put inside a cube shelf. What if you took out the little divider that's inside of it? Because they usually are foldable cubes, and on the bottom they have a little flat piece to make it more firm. I thought about if you took that out and then put it at the bottom, it would act as one of those kind of pieces that a lot of backpacks would have. This looks like it's enough space for me to pack my things. I just got a new packing cube. I made a video about it yesterday. Let me grab it. And I'm wondering to see if this Tropic Feel packing cube will fit. And that's not good. It looks a little too wide. Can I show you? Looks a little bit too wide, which means I may have to rotate it 90 degrees. Yeah, that's not good. I don't like that. Because once this is full, it's going to be taking up all the space. If I put anything in this pocket here, it's going to be taking up all that space. And then if I put anything in the laptop compartment, it's going to be encroaching into the space in here. So I'm hoping, what I was planning on doing, maybe I should have got the 10 liter, I'm not sure. But this 12 liter packing cube looks like it's too big for me to put right here. Now, it's a very flexible backpack. Theoretically, I could pack this out and squeeze it in here, then I'll have a little bit of space here at the top. But to put things in perspective, this doesn't get too thick. I was actually a little bit worried about this packing cube being a little too shallow, because once it's expanded, it's only about this thick, which is a little too short for a lot of packing cubes. However, that might end up being a good thing, that because it takes up more space this way and not as much in the depth, I think I might be able to squeeze it in there, and then there'll be some space on the top. So I'm just sharing with you my thought process, because if I put the packing cube in here and then I try to put my tech pouch on top of that, it's not going to have very much space in here. Now, granted, this will be closed, obviously, but you get my point. I'm going to probably make a video showing this all fully packed out before my next trip or something like that. But I could probably squeeze my tech pouch and my packing cube in there. What I'm worried about, however, is that I'm not just going to be bringing those two things. I'm going to be having my Legion Go. I'm going to be having my toiletry kit. I'm going to probably have a sling as well. And so between all those different things, I may not have enough room in here. And that is something I am concerned about. So I'm going to zip this back up so it has a little bit more form. Zippers are a little stiff, but they feel nice, especially the little handles. I thought someone was kind of overreacting to these handles in one of the videos, but I think they were right. I'm really excited about this admin panel. So let's look at it for the first time together too. So when you open this up, it only goes about a quarter of the way down. I'm definitely going to move the key leash. I don't like that there. But that's not too bad. It's about halfway down, not too much. But there's a good enough give. Actually, something I've been very curious about. And no, that won't fit. I was really wondering if my Legion Go would fit in this compartment. And I don't think my sling will either. I wanted to put maybe my sling in here too, but my sling is too big. My sling is for our tablets. I think it's too big. But pockets feel nice. This is pretty much as deep as the pocket itself. I can definitely use this in a unique way. One of my issues with my other travel backpack that I have is that it has an admin pocket, but it's as tall as this whole thing, and so and it's super thick. So I end up having to pack the Legion Go or the toiletry kit in the front pocket, and anything I put in the admin area of that backpack, I can no longer use because it slides out, or it gets in the way, or it just takes up too much space. So by having just a separate admin pocket, I think that's really nice. I wonder, will this fit in here? Ooh, that's pushing it. I mean, it fits. Maybe I should just, like, zip this up. I was definitely not ready for this video today. I was just really excited to get this in the mail, finally. Now, theoretically, this can close. But it's not the prettiest, and it might not be the most ideal. So, I don't think that's a good idea. That's probably going to have to be internal. Next pocket, I'm curious about. I almost forgot because of the lip here. Ooh, that is pretty spacious. Look at that. You definitely fit like two hands in there. I mean, I'm trying to think. I have this little pack here. Definitely fits in here, no problem at all. Plenty of space, even vertically. I could probably even fit two in there if I wanted to stretch out the pocket. It's not wide enough for Legion Go. I don't think I have anything else. I mean, I got this keyboard here. It's almost wide enough for the keyboard, but not really. So, what I'll probably use this for is like snacks and easily to grab items. It even goes up a little bit. So this front admin pocket goes down to about right here. So it's not fully halfway down. It's more like 45%, which I don't think anybody else really talked about on these videos. So I wanted to mention that. And then, let's see. Water bottle stretches out just fine. Oh, probably need to unhook that. Weird. I just thought I'd try it on for you all. A little tight. I'll probably need to loosen it up. Where is this? No, that's not it. Is it just like... It just feels so high up. I'm not used to that kind of backpack. Honestly, though, this does feel kind of nice. It just feels a little bit tight this way. So I don't know if it's because of my shoulders or what. Or maybe if I change the load lifters. Where's the strap? I'll mess with it more, but I'm just curious to see how this feels. Come on. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, it's not like the most comfortable, I guess. I mean, the padding's nice. And it does feel like very tight to the skin, even though it's a little bit of space here. I mean, obviously, I'm not fully decked out. I'm not even fully putting it on right, I don't think. But, yeah, it definitely feels like it's, I don't want to say chafing, but it's definitely hitting my neck area. Like, I almost wish there was an indent here to kind of go around the neck, or that this was slightly wider. Because it's not really made for a, I don't have even had that broad of shoulders, but it's not even really made for broader shoulders, it feels like. But And it does feel like it's getting a little bit hot, but maybe it's because I'm just already hot. There is some spacing in between. So let's show the back real quick in case you haven't seen any other videos. Hopefully I can improve the audio post-editing, but on the back, you have a nice little hook here to hang it on the door, which is definitely always appreciated because you don't want to ruin these nicer handles. Oh, that's interesting. So someone complained about this in one of the videos where it felt like it was too close to the thing. And so you kind of had to like force your hand in there. And then I don't have anything in this backpack. And yet I still had to like force my hand in there. That's very interesting there. Maybe it's because these are so wide. The handle is so wide that it makes it harder to reach. If it was like closer together in the middle, that might be better. Like these handles, I have no problem at all. So I don't know why these have so much give. And yet this one is so tight up in there. So two more pockets left. I am very excited about this one because I can put I could probably put some headphones and charger, but I'll probably put like sunglasses and stuff like that in there. But it's as wide as the whole pack, which is really nice. Like it even goes towards the admin panel kind of space, and I can feel the laptop compartment. And it's somewhat deep. It's about my fingers deep, so that's really interesting. That's one of the reasons why I got this backpack. It's like admin panel, unique top pocket, and then something else I'm really excited about. Well, let me test this out real quick. It's a little tedious, but not that bad. Not that bad. Oh, getting it out feels different. Okay. There we go. So, now you can see the back pocket. Ooh, that is spacious. Holy crap. So, okay, that's not ideal, but it does technically fit. That is interesting. I did not expect that. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think I would probably put 2 devices in there, but okay. So it is elevated off, right? Like there's a false bottom. However, there's so little space. I can feel my fingers on the other side. There's so little space in between. I'll show you in the main pocket in just a second. That it does, if it was like kind of empty down here and you drop it, you might be a little bit worried about hitting it. Because like there's a little bit of give at the bottom of it, but since the laptop compartment goes into the main compartment, there's no actual blockage between the bottom of the laptop compartment and the bottom of the bag. It can just fold down because it's so flimsy of a bag. Now, I know that this is kind of a hit or miss thing. I actually really like this. I almost wonder, like, it would have been an interesting idea to have it removable. I don't know. That's kind of like fun. One thing I was excited about was this little pocket, so you can put charger and stuff like that. So one thing I hate about these kind of backpacks is that there's always this empty, wasted space up here. And now, if you put anything in there, it'll actually make up use of that space. And then if you want to look up here, you have the little tracker pocket where you can put stuff. So yeah, not too deep, but not too bad. And it definitely is. I'm glad they didn't go with the zipper. The zipper is a good choice. I know that some people are like, oh, I wish this was a zipper. No, this is plenty of protecting. Like anything you put in there is not going to fall out. And having 2 different devices, like a tablet, and then like on top of that, a laptop in here would work just fine. Let me show you what I meant in the main compartment. And I noticed this even in the review videos too, where if you look here at the bottom, there's some space there. But when I was feeling my fingers through there, the bottom of the bag was coming up a lot. Which means if you are trying to keep this protected, I mean, this is pretty firm here. So this might block it just a little bit on its own here. But there's just basically a thin layer of the material blocking the laptop and the bottom of the bag. And so I can feel the frame back here, or whatever the heck this is. Yeah, I can feel the metal bar. But there's that space down here. Like, I think that the bottom of the bag, and if Rework, if you're watching this, I think this needs some work here. I saw it in the videos too, and I was a little bit worried about it. But I think that this whole flimsiness that people complain about, part of that would probably go away if there was something at the bottom, just to keep it like a thin, even if it's paper, right? Like a paper wrapped in the lining. Just put it at the bottom. Because my TomTalk has that. And it probably is plastic. But I guess they wanted to shave off on the weight. But yeah, I might end up putting something here at the bottom, or the packing cube might just end up blocking it. This bag is meant to be packed down. It's not meant to be too much on its own, but this is small enough that I could use it as a daily bag. I'm a little curious, actually. I'm going to grab my sling, and I'm going to grab my other backpack. Not the travel one, but my daily driver, EDC. The reason why I'm doing this, and I'm putting the sling down for now, this is my EDC backpack. I got it off of Amazon from some random seller, not even Bangy or anything like that. You can't get it anymore. This is one of the best backpacks I've ever seen online when it comes to EDC. It's very small, probably about 20, 24 liters max, because it can really expand out. I'm curious to see how it compares in size to this one. Okay, travel backpack, definitely bigger. Almost the same thickness, although this one can probably expand a little bit more. But yeah, I'm definitely like, I could fit almost all of my travel stuff on my last trip into this bag. Almost. And it was like stretching it to its limits. So this is not ideal for traveling. I wanted a backpack that was bigger than that one, but not as big as my Tom Talk that I have. The other concern I had was my sling. Now my sling looks like it's going to be too wide, even if it gets compressed. So that's not good. I squeeze this in here. Because what I like to do with 1.5 bag travel is that on the way over on the trip, I'll put the sling inside the bag, and then on the way back, then I will take it out. The problem is, this seems like it's just as wide as my packing cube. And so I wanted to do this, even though I'm very disorganized, because no one else seems to be packing their bags in these Outbound videos. And again, I'm going to probably make a full-on backpack video where I'm packing it out, but I'm very curious to see how this works. Because if I were to stretch it to its limit, will it actually let me pack things? Because even just now, I'm trying to squeeze this in here, and it's bending this, which means that like, if this was actually full, it may not let me cave it out. Theoretically, though, I should be able to put this in front of that. The one thing is the handle. Can I get the handle 90 degrees or 45 degrees? Yeah, there you go. So if these were both packed out, I think it would close, but it's definitely going to be pushing it to its limit. And then there's not that much space at the top because I'm going to be putting stuff in here, right? And so you can see at this point, there's not much give. I think what I'm going to try to do is put this in here, and then that's going to be about it. So there's no room for my toiletry kit, at least not in this pocket, and there's no room for my mini sling if I were to bring that. And then when it comes to accessories, it's going to have to be somewhere in some of these pockets. However, these pockets, which I didn't go through earlier, are also going to be taking up space here. So this laptop compartment comes out about an inch, which means that when you have two laptops in here, it's going to take in some of that internal volume. Same thing with this pocket as well. It's going to take in that internal volume. So when you start using these pockets, and then of course the front pockets as well, that's also going to be taking in internal volume. So that was my major issue with the Tom Talk, where I wasn't able to fully utilize it because all the other pockets were taking advantage of that internal volume. Now, I am hopeful that perhaps I won't need to use as much as the internal space as I can now use a lot of this. I bought that compression cube, and I'll open it up real quick in case you didn't watch the other video, because it is really cool. Because I can actually put everything in it, including socks and underwear. But I was actually thinking about this backpack. This would be the perfect spot for socks and underwear. Very flexible. It should fit all 7 days of underwear. More than likely at least 5 or 7 days of socks, because I have the low cut anyways. I don't know what I'd put up here, but probably more like, let's say, I mean, could my toiletry kit fit in here? No, not really. And that'll take up too much of the admin pocket. But I could probably put like some laundry sheets, and then other kind of like first aid kits, probably what I put in here too, and that kind of thing. And then, yeah, maybe I could put the toiletry kit here in the front pocket and down here. Let me show you. Ooh, I really do like this stiff back. If you want to learn more about this, I did a sort of unboxing video about it on the same channel here. But if you open this up, it is a hanging packing cube. And so you have a pocket here. You have 3 pockets up here. So socks, underwear, or whatever you want to do. And then you can put like about 6 rolls in here, maybe a little bit more. And when it expands out, my main concern was that when it fully expanded out, that it wasn't going to be big enough. However, maybe that concern is now not that needed because I could put my sling in front of this in that backpack if I was fully decked out. Because I always try to leave some space in my backpack for when I come back with souvenirs. However, because of me trying to do the one bag, I end up not having that much space. So what I do to try to cheat myself is I put the sling in the backpack on the way over, which takes up space, and then I take the sling out and I just do 1.5 bag travel on the way back. So it gets about this thick. It's about the same thickness as my sling over there. And this is shorter than I expected from a packing cube, although it probably will expand a little bit out fully packed when I actually put stuff in it. So I think this opinion about it being too short is probably negligible once I actually pack it out. Thank you for watching, and hopefully the rough unboxing video wasn't that bad, but I hope that you enjoyed. I just really wanted to make another video about this Rework Outbound. Not only do I want to work with the company, I think that what they're doing is really great. I saw a Toshi Sling in real life by a DJ I was hanging out with one night, and I was just nerding out about it. I was like, oh my god, I've never seen one IRL. I think it was the medium-sized one. And that brand, I think, is doing really well. I watched every single Rework Outbound video, and honestly the Toshi backpack as well, and most of the sling ones online, and yet there wasn't nearly enough for me when I was making my decision. I just was very convinced by the bag itself, and honestly, overall, very good impressions. The material feels great. I was actually really worried because people kept talking about the material being less quality than the Airs or whatever, and this feels great. This feels like a nice, I'm not worried about it breaking. Someone said that in, I think, the Nomad Nation video recently, like yesterday they launched it. Someone took it to Vietnam. He was a little bit worried about the material, and then it held up just fine. And like he packed it out heavily, like I'm probably going to be doing, and he was not worried about it breaking at all. And honestly, the build feels really nice. The zippers pulls could be a little bit rough, but not like you can't handle it. It's not a big deal. And then like the little loops that you can lock them, that is a little annoying, especially as you saw getting it out, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. And I usually, actually what I do is I use like little carabiners or something like that to lock them. So I'm not too worried. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I love talking about one bag. That's why I'm making these videos. One thing I was going to mention too, is I do plan on moving and perhaps doing more extended travel. So I have things like my mini computer or this dock that I want to bring with me, and so I have other small containers that I was hoping there would be enough space for, like a little recording kits or something like this. And because of that, I'm a little concerned that I won't be able to fit everything into that bag. All my mini PCs and all my little tech can generally fit within this, I guess you can say toiletry kit, but I use it for all of my tech because it's padded. It has like nice foam padding on all sides, so it can keep keep everything protected. And if you're curious, I got this from Target. It just looked like a little mini duffel bag, and I loved it. And now I finally have a good reason for it. But this is heavy, right? And I'm not too much worried about weight because I'm not going to be going to places where they're weighing it so much. But the fact that this takes up so much space, and there was no wiggle room at all after putting everything in there already, and that was just the eyeball how much space is in there, I am a little concerned that I won't be able to fit everything that I want to fit, like the Legion Go and my sling. But I'm hopeful, and we'll see in the next video whether or not I'm able to get everything packed. Thank you.